Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Black Belt Beauty Radio. In today's episode, I'm going to break down one of my Instagram posts. For those of you who are not already in my Instagram community, I would love to have you there. My personal IG is at Roxy Look. It's in the show notes. And, you know, as a writer, I'm always just, my captions are very rich, to put it simply. I get in these very channeled modes of writing and, you know, always just have a lot to say around the posts that I share. What I love about creating episodes like this, where I tease out a post, is number one, I know that, you know, a lot of people don't necessarily read captions or more auditory when it comes to taking in information and learning, but it also allows me to really expand on what I'm sharing in these posts, which I know can be really, really valuable just to kind of elaborate more. And it just makes it more fun to take in this information this way as well. So today I want to talk about this idea that you do not have to be hard to beat hard. So I'm going to say that again. So the actual post, didn't have a title or anything. It was an image, but the concept is built around that. You don't need to become a hard individual to beat hard, to kick hard's ass. So I'm going to read the caption and then tease it out. So, caption. It's not what you're looking at, it's how you're looking at it. The empowered lens respects realism while choosing to move forward with optimism. It's embracing the truth when shit is hard, but rising to the challenge with confidence and being capable to move through it and arrive to your victory on the other side of that battle. It's understanding very clearly that there are no handouts to true badassery and self-trust. You got to step to the battle and earn your stripes. Many are surprised to hear me say the greatest attribute to my unbreakable strength is the eternal softness within me. You do not have to be hard to beat hard. The masculine and the feminine working in harmony are dangerous to any challenge. You can't snap a string. Let that sink in. Embracing this idea sharpens the winning weapons that are your mind and heart working as a team. Embracing the challenge is embracing the belief that you can win. Embrace it, live it, you're worth it. There's a lot to unpack there. You know, people, it's so true when, I know I come off, I'm very edgy. I am very strong in every facet of being strong, physically, mentally, energetically. I'm strong. But when you really get to know me, or even just, even my community knows, like, there's always a softness going on here. There's always an element of supple energy, right? This is why when I say you can't snap a string, it's really deep when you think about it. You know, it's really hard to snap a string. And yet a string is so malleable. It's so flexible, right? And that is a real lesson, a metaphor for life. The more that we stay flexible, the more that we stay, malleable, the harder it is to break us. Because when you're rigid, you're fragile. When you're rigid, you're fragile. Rigidness means that you are just, at any moment, you can snap, right? But when you're soft, you can actually take hits, literally, like punch a pillow. A pillow can take a punch, you know what I mean? But every time you take that punch, I'm not necessarily talking about an actual physical punch, but unless you're a fighter, every time you take a punch from life, you will be stronger from, taking that hit. You'll survive from it. And if you are, and I know you are, if you're in my community here, a growth mindset individual, you will find a way to become better from it. So another thing to point out here that is really important to me always is this operation of your masculine and your feminine energy working in harmony as a team. So let me create an image for you, an illustration. So your heart is the feminine energy. Think of your heart as your being, right? The being in you. Your mind is the masculine energy. And think of your mind as the doing part of you, like the architect, right? And, I often say that, your heart is where your authentic self is. It's where your true, what I want to say yes to and what I want to say no to lives, right? So when you allow your heart to lead you and then employ your architect, this doing, aspect of you, your mind will build the mission out, but your heart is leading the mission, right? So does that make sense? You want to realize and you want to actually have your masculine and your feminine energy working as a team because they are. There's no competition there. Sometimes though, your mind, it's very tricky. We all know that the mind can run us into territories that do not serve us. And that's when we really have to ground in and root into our heart. And this is everyday practice, right? But the more that we do that and the more that we can stay very heart-centric, rooted in our heart, where we are rooted in our authentic self, where we are most autonomous, where our intuition is turned up, we are then better able to direct our mind in ways that serve us, right? And any time that you are operating from a state of, rigidness or, like ego and you have to be hard, you are disconnected from your heart. So that masculine feminine energy is actually not working as a team, not working in harmony. Your mind and your heart are not working as a team. So I'm really trying to, create an idea here for you to make it easier for you to take in this concept so that you can actually put it into application, right? You want to be on your team, right? I say that often. You want to be on your team. Being on your team means that you can support yourself to move towards a challenge, to face it, to do whatever you got to do to beat it. And you don't have to be hard on yourself in that process. I'm not saying that you don't have to face hard moments with yourself in that process. I am saying that you don't need to be an asshole to yourself to get to the victory. Because a lot of times I think, and everyone's going to have their way, so I'll just say that. If that works for you, whatever it takes to win. I just know that there's this concept that I have, and it's centered around winning on the way to winning. For me personally, winning on the way to winning is me feeling very connected, very to self, myself, right? And being on my team and fucking cheerleading myself and supporting myself and even challenging myself. But that is love, right? On the way to, the victory, whatever the victory is that I'm aiming at, achieving, experiencing in my life. So another thing to point out that is really important here is that there's no handouts to self-mastery. There's no handouts to self-confidence. There's no handouts to self-trust. There's no handouts to badassery, right? All of that is badass to me. If there was a handout, I wouldn't want it personally, right? I love feeling myself put in the effort to attain the stripes on my belt, right? Martial arts, right? But essentially to earn my wins. I love it. I love it because I'm worth that work. I'm worth that effort, right? I always say you got to feel worthy of the battle and the victory. There's something about feeling that, effort that you are consciously putting forward for yourself to earn whatever it is that you're achieving. When you can witness yourself doing this, how do you not love yourself? How do you not respect yourself? You're watching yourself do the fucking honest work. So it's so empowering to actually just, do whatever it takes to put that effort in, sweat equity, do it and earn your stripes on your belt, earn not just the external wins that you're reaching for, but earn the intangibles, right? Earn the fortified levels of your self-confidence, earn the fortified levels of self-trust and self-love and self-respect, right? In life, all of these self pieces that I'm always talking about, these attributes to your self-identity ecosystem is how I frame it. Your self-identity is an ecosystem comprised of your core beliefs, your core values, your leading attributes, your guiding principles, your personal standards, and your personal boundaries, right? And this is a life game in terms of constantly fortifying this ecosystem such to that it keeps you fortified, it keeps you evolving in ways that are having you thrive in your life as your most authentic self, right? All of what I just shared, there's no shortcuts in that process. There's no handouts there. And a lot of times, I think, especially today, in today's, age, it's like, we just want it now. We want it fast. We want it easy. Life is a marathon though. And you want to be in a position throughout this marathon where you are constantly investing in whatever it takes to keep your self-identity ecosystem and these attributes, that I'm talking about here, to be serving you, to be helping you thrive in life, to help you build the life that you want to be living, right? And there's no fucking handouts in that process, or if there is, I feel like, that the glitch in the system will show up later in life. So you may as well just strap down and fucking get to the real work. And, and realize that, all of this work that I'm talking about feels so much better when you are operating on your team and not from, when you are operating from a place where you don't have to be a hard ass on yourself or be a hard ass period in life. You can actually be a really, flexible, playful, lighthearted, badass and kick all of your challenges in the ass from this expression of yourself, right? So that was, the big takeaways here in this episode are you don't need to be hard to beat hard. Your masculine and your feminine energies working in harmony will always serve you at the highest level. Your mind and your heart are the ultimate winning team when they are working together. The heart leads the way. The mind architects what I say she, the feminine, what your heart is directing your mind to build, to achieve, right? But when the mind starts kind of dominating the scene, that you're checked out, you're disconnected from the heart a bit, right? And this is where fear and the inner critic and self-doubt and, rejection and all these negative frequency energies, vibes are when this starts coming into place, I better root down in my heart. There's an imbalance here between the team right now. And I got to reposition the team in the way where, I know I'm going to feel my best and ultimately be creating from the highest expression of myself. And in my opinion, that is when the heart is leading and your mind is architecting that which your heart is directing you to create in your life. So this is a perfect opportunity to invite you to check in with yourself right now. Where are you in terms of your heart and your mind working together as a team? Are they? Or has your mind been really running you into territories that don't feel great? You're checked out of your heart. So you need to pull yourself back into heart, where your authentic self is, where you can, quiet the noise up here in head, the noise out in the external, and come into, your intuition, come into your inner you, where you are going to feel a sense of relief and comfort. You got to do the work to get in there, right? Meditation is epic for this. Journaling is my go-to for this. Number one, journaling will help you to get out what you need of the mind, right? Put it on paper, create separation between you and your thoughts. And then you can figure out what you need to do from there to get back into your heart, to edit, and then to move forward from there. Another thing that could be really great to do right now is to just feel into where you are, are you doing more than you are being right now? So think about the masculine, feminine energy again, right? Do you need to check back into your being a bit more? Maybe do some, recharging activities, self-care, self-love, activities, or maybe you're kind of hanging out too much, on the sidelines, and you need to get in the game, into the arena, and put your mind, your architect, the doing part of you into a power play move. Only you will know where you are and what you need. And what I'm offering here is an invitation for you to check in, to stop, slow down, turn down the volume of the external and turn up the volume of the internal from your heart, and then figure out, what it is that you need to do for yourself to really move forward powerfully from here. And the final piece that I will say before I sign out on this episode is, remember, you don't need to be hard to beat hard. And please don't confuse that as, you being some kind of fragile person. Remember, there's a difference between soft and fragile. Fragile is rigid, and an insult will shatter you. Soft, like the pillow. A pillow will take a lot of punches and just, puff itself right back out like nothing happened, Think of yourself in that wave. Like you can handle hard shit. You just don't have to become hard. Some of the most badass, lethal humans are the most playful, lightheartedness, loving, lit up humans. They don't need to be hard to beat hard because they know who they are. They know what they've been through. They know what they've conquered. So remember that you don't need to be hard to beat hard. If you want to dive into this Instagram post, you can find it in the show notes. And I just hope that this really, hit your heart in some ways that can really serve you, that will elevate you, that will fortify you, and ultimately keep you, in this marathon of life doing the work because you're worth the work, not looking for shortcuts. I'm not saying don't be strategic and don't find ways to be effective and efficient. I am saying do the real work that it takes to really evolve yourself in a way where you are going to be thriving in your life. There are no handouts there. You're worth the work. So that's what I got for you today. If you love this episode, if any of it hit home to your heart, tell me about it. Share this up on your Instagram stories and tag me, Roxy Look, Black Belt Beauty. DM me, put a comment on the post for this episode in the Instagram. I love connecting with you guys. The conversation always continues. I love knowing, if any of what I shared hit home. There's a lot of thought-provoking ideas I share in these episodes, and it means a lot to get your feedback, to know, what's really serving you. So reach out to me. Don't be shy. And asking that if you've not already given this podcast a 5-star rating or review, please do so. It means so much to me and my team. And you are helping everybody who gets to take in this content because you're helping the show get out there more. So thank you in advance to all of you who will take a moment to do that. There's an easy link in the show notes. And can't wait to be back here with you always. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.